I have absolutely fantastic news. After an entire weekend of being bullied into it, I have set up my desk. It is not, the cable management is not done. Obviously, the background and everything, that's a work in progress. We're going to have to get a jump on that in the next couple of days. But here, this angle, right? You're not looking down the microphone pole anymore, right? It doesn't feel like you're interviewing me. This is what we're going to be working with for the next couple of years, honestly. This is what we're going to be working with for probably a very long time in this place, is this angle. So hopefully it's comfortable for you. You know, hopefully this makes sense, because it's not totally finished yet. I'm doing a couple of streams, recording a couple of videos like this to make sure that it feels right. But this is where we've settled. I've got my 3 monitors. Everything's well lit. Everything sounds okay. Life is good, life goes on, and bullying works, clearly. I mean, at least works on me. There's a hidden content section on YouTube where, like, hidden comments, they get removed by the auto mod, and there were about 50 creative insults that you guys had come up with that had been auto modded out of the YouTube comments that I had to, like, go through and approve. And I was just having a good laugh clicking through the whole thing anyways. It was amazing. And it worked. Because now we're here, I've got all my monitors, I have the microphone, I've got the camera, I've got the lights, and I've got a really, really insane thing to talk about. So what better for me to have ordered up? Just something absolutely absurd. And you know it's absurd because I'm talking about an international friendly in the women's game between Morocco and DR Congo. So women's soccer, international friendly. Morocco's beaten DR Congo 2-1 in the 60th minute, but it's a friendly, like, it's a friendly. Nobody gives a shit about friendlies. Nobody's ever given a shit about friendlies, and they're not going to start now, which makes it even more amazing that what you're about to watch actually happened on the field in a friendly, because it makes no sense to me at all how you can get this angry in a friendly. Like, I just really don't even know what happened. But the dust up is with DR Congo's Ruth Kipoyi. Okay, so she plays for DR Congo, and she's the main attraction of this story. She's the player that is just absolutely loses her mind. She's pretty easy to find early in this video. So I'll just go ahead and hit play for a few seconds. Yeah, all right. I mean, okay, look, we've started this off hot with a really strong, insane challenge. Just, I mean, an hour and a half late. Right, like, she almost caught the next train. She was so late for the last one. Like, right in front of the referee, too. The referee's standing there staring directly at this. I would imagine that the way Ruth Kipoyi is kind of wound up for this, everybody in the stadium can tell Kipoyi is about to try and absolutely take this girl's leg off. Right, but the referee, understandably, basically immediately is going to just brandish a straight red card, which is good refereeing. I mean, this is a straight red card. This is like maliciously endangering the other player. So referees all over the world getting criticized. At least we got one that can tell you straight up that this is a red card. And she delivers that news pretty promptly, right? The Moroccan players are coming in. They're upset. The girl that got fouled is selling it. And then the red card goes up, and then the shoving starts, right? Because, look, if you're on Morocco, you got to defend your teammate here. I mean, you can't just back up and pretend that this didn't happen. Now, I'm not encouraging any sorts of violence, but at least, sending, like, the public gesture that you are supporting your teammate, going over, like, verbally confronting the person verbally confronting Kipoyi, the person that did this, and being like, hey, what the hell? Or you're going over and trying to pick your teammate up and defend your teammate, right? Because this was some wanton violence that just came from the player on DR Congo. You want to make sure your teammate's okay. You want to make sure it doesn't happen again. Well, the referee typically, when they brandish the red card, is able to kind of diffuse this situation a little bit. Now, there's one girl on Morocco obviously comes in and, like, makes contact with Kipoyi, and they are exchanging, like, there are words flying around here, right? This is a little more than, like, how are you doing and how's the weather sort of stuff going on. And it gets so much worse in the next 8 seconds. Hello? Holy shit, dude. Like, what? Man, she wanted the smoke. She wanted all of the smoke. Dude, this is terrible. This is, like, obviously objectively terrible. You cannot do this, right? She should get suspended for, I don't know what's acceptable, honestly. I don't want to say something and then sound like I'm coming off soft on this, but, like, 6 months, a year, where you're just not able to play at all because this is just a ridiculous amount of violence to be on the field. But we just went 0 to 100. This whole clip that we've watched so far is 10 seconds. We just did 10 seconds from chasing the player, tackling the player, stand up, shove one player, knock a second player out. I mean, let's be real here. In the men's game, all these dudes are always going chest to chest, nose to nose, lips to lips. It's honestly kind of hot sometimes, forehead to forehead, but nobody's ever taken a swing. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, the last time I saw somebody take a swing in a men's game was in some sort of compilation in the 1980s. The game's gone, rule Britannia, whatever. That's the last time I saw somebody taking a swing on the field. This was no nonsense. This is so fast and abrupt. And it's like even like the shove and stuff and the posturing, that's not out of place. That's not out of place in the modern game. Like, it happens. It's not particularly dangerous. Obviously, they don't want it to be a part of every game, but obviously we're talking about a straight red card here and a pretty flagrantly awful challenge. So you understand at least the emotional reaction. But it's almost like your brain is watching this punch and it can't even compute what just happened. I mean, there was no hesitation. There was no tripwire in the brain. There was no thought process. That second girl came in to try and join the whole fracas. And Kapoyi just separated and dropped a clean hook like Deontay Wilder before he sucked. Stepping back, just lands it on the jaw. And if you can tell, I'm kind of caught in two minds here because one, I actually really appreciate somebody not posturing for once. I mean, I'm so used to people just swing first. Oh, swing first. Like, nobody ever actually gets in fights anymore on the field. Leave it to an international friendly to produce that sort of drama. But nobody actually does this. This is insane. And I'm kind of sitting here and I'm like, wow, that she kind of walked the walk. But the reason nobody does this? Because you can't do this. Like, once I get over that 2 seconds, and maybe my brain's just been rotted by too much social media of being like, whoa, what an insane clip. Once I get over that 2 seconds that I was just talking about, the other half of the mind that I'm in is, this is absurd. How is this possible that you can get this far in life without having the ability to restrain yourself in this sort of situation? I mean, I don't know what happened, right? I've got 16 seconds of footage, of which we are only going to watch like the first 11, because after this, everybody's just kind of shocked that she threw that punch and it actually dies down a little bit. But how do you get to this point in your life without having this type of inhibition control? Like, this is the sort of, I'm not a freaking psychologist or something, but you feel like something else is going on here. Like, there is a part of this story that we don't know. Something that is going to help this make sense. Because based off these 16 seconds, right, and the little reporting that's gone on kind of around this, it allows me to know Ruth Kapoyi's name. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know a lot else that went into it. There's got to be something else here. If there's not, I'm stunned that she's managed to make it this far in life with that sort of quick switch to insane out-of-place violence. Because, I mean, this is the girl that got punched. I'm sure she has a concussion. You see her, like, later in the video. She's kind of on the ground and looking a little dizzy. I mean, she just got caught clean in the jaw, and it's not her. I mean, like, the last thing you're expecting in this situation in the modern game is for somebody to actually just punch you with, like, excellent form and accuracy, like really spin your head around like a Looney Tunes character. And that's exactly what happened. So I am not jealous of the administrators that are going to have to deal with this, because I feel like anything short of a lifetime ban, there's going to be people that are saying that that'll say that she should get a lifetime ban. I would be comfortable with her being out a year. But honestly, I don't know. Like, the only thing I am sitting here that I can tell you for sure is this is insane. And this just does not happen. And it is terrible, right? It is. You shouldn't have to worry about being punched in the face when you go out to play a match. But this is just beyond mind-blowing that this freaking happened. I can't get over that this happened. I'll finish that sentence, though. I'll stand on something. I want to find some business to stand on here. Say a year. If she's suspended for a year, it's a little more than the Luis Suarez bite, right? Like, it's then maybe some counseling, maybe who knows? Maybe her dad just died. I don't know what happened. I feel like there has to be something that triggers this sort of anger. Like, why did she go in for the straight red challenge in the first place? The other girl, the girl that she punches, is like not even the one that she's arguing with. She's arguing with number 2. And then 21 comes in and just bumps her, and that just like breaks her brain. Like she comes in and bumps her from the side, and she's like, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Boom. Good night. You know, like I get that's the only way I can rationalize this in my mind, but it's completely insane. And I'm really just talking about it with you because what happened here?